Hi, my name is Paul from ClickAlgo.com. I'll explain some of the details on this indicator that we're giving away for free, just to help you out really, because a video will really help you out in how to use these curve checks. So I'll start off by, I don't need to explain all the other parameters to you because pretty much the blog explains, to send in emails, the buy and sell thresholds and all the rest of it. It's mostly these values at the bottom, which is the linear curve check and the crossover check. So I'll start with, they're both quite simple, and as you have the source code and as you have now the math.net numerics library, you can experiment and look at different ways to match curves or anything that you feel would help with a price reversal. So if I scroll, oops, get rid of that. If I scroll back to the start on here, we're looking at some kind of price reversal like here, where the price, obviously there's quite a correlation between the price action in the candles and the way the curve, or the way the crossover occurs on these two lines of the stochastic. So what we're looking at now is the crossover check, which is a very basic check, but I find it very useful. And it's the distance between the signal line and the result line, which shows a little bit of the price action up here. So if it was a very messy sort of like here, it's no real bounce in the price action at the top. It's just very close together. But a crossover would have occurred, a signal would have occurred to say sell, and this would have obviously not worked. So the idea is to very basic, simple trick. This will filter it out. Anything that's 7 and above, the distance between the signal and the result, it will actually fire an event for a is bullish, is bearish signal. And as you know, for the robot, if you use this in a robot, you can actually access the public properties. So straight away, here, this would only fire for that one. So again, it's probability. You're not going to get all of them. It's just a way of, see, this one was no good. It's just a way to experiment and play around with it. But I find it very useful to play around with the values. And on each instrument and on each time frame, it's different. So you'd have to experiment and run it with backtest to see what kind of results you get. So that's that one, pretty straightforward, that one. The other one is the linear curve check, and this is what's used in the maths.net library. Now the maths.net library you'll probably find very useful if you're doing mathematics, and in this case, curve fitting. So going back to this here, we want to fit this curve, this red line. So whenever this type of curve occurs, we want to maybe have an is bullish signal. So the best way to actually find out these values, and to do this curve, you've got to look at the curve offset and curve slope. So to do this, you turn off the crossover check and you just turn on the linear curve check. Okay. Now wherever it matches 17 and 1, it will actually show you the curve. So to find out what each one of these curves, to find out what the values are, you turn on the data analysis mode. So if we turn on the data analysis mode, so there you go. This is now showing this is for the blue line result, and that is because use signal line at the top here uses the red line, the signal line. If it's no, it uses the result line, which is the blue one. So in this case, the result line for that curve was 23 and 3. And because it's a little bit jagged, I'm going to do the result line, sorry, the signal line, which is the red line. So I turn on is signal line, and that one will come back 17 and 1. So now I know what the value is, and I know what the type of what occurs with the price reversal, how it works. You can look through the historical data and find out how often, if the occurrence happened very often, and if you want to use those type of values. So what you do then, because it redraws, it's best to turn off the data analysis mode, and then just to type in there 17 and 1, which I've already done. So here, whenever 17 and 1 occurs, it will actually this indicator will send you an email making a sound alert, or if you're using it in a robot, you can use the is bullish or is bearish public properties to decide if you want to enter a trade or not. So in this, and also if you click on the log file at the bottom, you can actually see how many times it's occurred in the past. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, it's quite a few actually. So this type of curve has occurred all these times. So you could scroll back through the history, see how often it's occurred, and see if it was a definite price reversal. And if it occurred 75% of the time, then obviously you've got quite a good filter there. And if you can see here, it's not fired anything else that might have happened, it won't do it. So you've got two types of checks there. You've got the source code, you've got full access to make changes yourself. You can play around with the math.net library for different types of formulas for checking this. And as the indicator stands, you've got all these parameters for emails and sound alerts and changing stuff, and it's free. So we just thought we'd introduce this to you, and this is obviously the first video that I've done public. I've done one previously, it wasn't very good, so I'm doing another one. And the idea is that any customer that we have, we normally give them we always give them actually a video demonstration of their indicator or strategy, and that's free of charge, and we explain how it works to them. And we also do code walkthroughs, which is we'd actually go through your code line by line. So if we deliver to you a strategy and you're a programmer and you want to take on the project, we explain to you all the code line by line and architecturally how we put it together so that you can take it on board yourself and start making changes. Okay, I hope this helps. Thank you very much for your time.